One of the biggest things I run into when working with prospective coaching clients, or even working with my current client base, is just the fundamental lack of business basics. So, what do I mean by that? Businesses are typically started by somebody who has a particular skill set, a particular trade that the market needs, and that they have reached a point where they feel they can do it better for themselves than they are doing it for an employer. They see the employer and they basically think, for pardon my language, this dumbass can do it. Why can't I? So they get out and they strike out on their own. And I'll use, for example, let's say a plumber. Plumbers, as a general rule, are very, very good at plumbing. They're very, very good at everything to do with plumbing. Tackling plumbing issues, installing plumbing systems. They're very, very good at that. But again, as I've referenced in prior speeches, the educational system in this country is very, very good at training employees, stellar employees. We're not very good at training business owners. So these tradespeople, or what we call operators or technicians, will start a business and they'll operate that business as a technician, forever locked into the day to day, forever locked into the actual technical aspect of their job, and instead of actually building a business. So that what they ultimately got is a very low paid, very low hourly rate job, even though they have their name slapped on it as the owner. So what we do, what we work with business owners in on the very beginning and help them establish, this is very, very basic business optics. And it starts with the finances. Everything starts with the finances. Um, Basic business optics into your system, setting up 4 to 5 key performance indicators that are monitored weekly and monthly. It's astonishing to me as I go meet successful business owners. They're running, multi-million dollar companies that don't review their profit and loss statements or even their balance sheet on a monthly basis. I find that really surprising, but that's one of the business basics that is oftentimes missed. So setting up key performance metrics and helping monitor those key performance metrics on a weekly, monthly basis is super critical and super important. Another piece of the business basics is just basic time. How is the business owner managing their time? Is the business owner managing their time at a very low dollarly rate activities? Or in other words, are they doing a lot of administrative stuff that a very basic $10 an hour employee could do? And how much of their time is spent on the the high value functions, the building of the business, the sales and marketing activities, the meeting with business leaders, and constructing business relationships and strategic alliances. Turns that what I find oftentimes is they're typically sunk into the low hourly rate, low value administrative tasks or day-to-day fires, putting those out, and they're not maximizing their time. So a very important key aspect of beginning the coaching process is to get control of their time, and more importantly, get control of their calendar. Busyness, I'm sure people have heard, busyness doesn't necessarily equate to productivity, and busyness spelled with a Y does not equal business spelled with an I. So um, that's a very, very important piece to the coaching process and building the business process, is building up that owner's value time, and trying to get the owner to outsource or delegate those lower skilled, and especially lower skilled in the stuff that they just don't like to do, to folks that are better suited to do it, so they can focus on the higher value growth aspects of their business. Another piece is education. 99% of the business owners I run into don't prioritize education. And so because of that, what they'll do is, as mentioned before, is they've taken their business to the level of their own incompetence. So their knowledge and skill set can only take that business so far without learning more and learning other things. And so they don't prioritize the education. So we set up an education plan for um, business owners in order to augment and build on the skills that they don't have or that they're not very good at. And then lastly is the mindset. Somebody once told me, and being a business owner myself, I will wholeheartedly agree. But business ownership is one of the loneliest jobs in the world. Whether you have a staff or don't have a staff, you're on an island. The business is yours; it's your responsibility. So it can be very, very lonely. So it's very, very important to institute basic mindset rituals with that business owner. How are you getting up in the morning? How are you getting yourself going? How are you keeping yourself motivated? How are you taking care of not only your physical body but your mental state? those are as important as anything that the business owner does day to day, is to take care of themselves, both physically and from a mental standpoint. Because if you're coming in at somewhat of a hindered mental state or hindered physical state, there's only so much you're going to be able to give to that business when the business needs you full time. So as important as the education, as important as the business is the health and mental mind, the mental um, stability, or mental health of the actual business owner. So we set up very basic rituals, very basic things to keep the business owner's mind sharp and motivated and energized, and keep the business owner's physical health in as key condition as we can.